that we're live.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is. We are now live. I like to give it a little while for people to come in too. So a little microphone back on. I'm gonna put the ooh. I don't know why that's seems so big.
Is it cool if I have an adult beverage with me?
Of course it is. Oh, have the adult beverage. Okay. Oh wow. Do y'all see this thing that says StreamYard Live viewer comments show up?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look really big? It's like it's blocking Boot's face.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's blocking half my face.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it. Where's my phone? From my Oscar Rococo page to my main page.
Okay.
That's normally what I do within the first. I give people time to see it and whatnot. So let's see. I'll share it to my story. Booth, are you on TikTok, ain't you?
Mm-hmm.
B, but you're not.
No. Mm-mm. I need to catch up, I guess.
Girl, it's a dangerous world over there, honey.
Shoot, you got to buy some good stuff on that joint though.
Man, listen. Ha! Don't I know it? Don't I know it? It's a problem. Don't make no sense.
I got about 67 things in my cart right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where I got all my shirts from, B. I got all my shirts there. So, all right. So if you guys are, hey cousin, hey Larisha, we got somebody in Larisha. So I'm going to here. All right. So we can go ahead and get started. Y'all gonna probably see me fan. So last week, well, I would say Saturday this past week, I had Andre Wright on, Calvin. B
Oh,
did
okay.
get a chance to look at it, and so you
It was
may not,
good.
you know Andre, right?
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah. So Andre, is battling prostate cancer, and
I didn't know
so
that.
yeah, you have to go back and take a look at the podcast, and check him out. He was very, very candid. He was open, talking about his treatment, his feelings, everything, and like his dad passing away. His son ended up coming on the show, and we were able to talk to. I was able to talk to him about how he felt, because they're so close and things like that. So I mean, it really, really went very, very well. So I wish the best for him. He's pretty much
Yeah, for sure.
he gave so much information. I had another guy that was supposed to be able to come on, and he's actually suffering colorectal cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't able to show up, but hopefully I'll have him on in the future. But March is actually I keep saying it wrong. Probably because of these braces, they feel so big in my mouth. But colorectal cancer, so that's the colon and rectum. I didn't know that. I just thought, it was just like some colon. It's
Yeah,
both
I didn't know
places.
that either.
Yeah, it's both places. And so he's pretty further in his stage, and so he's still doing chemo and all that other stuff. So sending prayers out to Brian. I'll probably have him back. But this week, I'm glad to have you guys. I'm glad y'all agree to come on here and talk. Larisha, make sure you share out the live. So we talk about this topic, because look, we go way back to what, Yahoo 360, I think is where we first met, and then I think it was the Black Planet,
All that.
Oh,
all that,
MySpace. My,
MySpace. Oh my
oh,
God,
yeah.
So it's so crazy because we're all from the DMV, and we all met on social media. I didn't go to school with you guys. Like, we met on social media, and so all of these 30 years later.
Yes.
here, here we are,
30
and it's a
years, like
blessing.
really, yeah.
It just
So,
doesn't seem like it was that long ago, for real.
yes, absolutely. My cousin said we go back to 87. Yes, cousin. I've known you all your life, child. So, but yeah, so it's just a blessing that we're all, still here, just based on how things, in life has gone. We've lost friends and stuff like that. So anyway, this is a great occasion. So Boots and I, listen, Boots and I, we were battling. We never
I
battled.
know.
Boots and I, that's why I put that picture of him. Because I know I got on his nerves. I know. And it's okay. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to keep it lit and live. Right, Boots?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, but on this topic, I definitely wanted to have a man to come on and give a male perspective, right? So let me just right out say, I definitely believe that Boots is a great guy. I think he's a great choice. Now, other women, they come in the comments, and disagree. But, me personally, yeah. So what I'm going to do with this, guys, is we're going to just go through everything and live here in YouTube. Then I'll take some snippets out and I'll post those around and things like that. So things you guys don't have to worry about. But I want you guys to relax and welcome to Coco's Oscar with Coco. So glad to have y'all here. So we're going to dive right into this. I'm going to start with the first question. Which is, do women really choose bad boys? Is it just something that men say when they get rejected by said woman? So what do you guys think? I do think, yes, there's sometimes that women will choose a guy that is labeled the bad guy, but I also do think that sometimes the guys who want that girl and she don't want them and she wants this other guy, they're like, oh, she likes bad boys, and the guy may not even be a bad boy. But let me know what you guys think.
Well, I think at the end of the day, just we all are entitled to like what we like. Tall, short, big, small, whatever. Everyone has a preference. So I just don't understand how men get so upset when you're, like you're not interested or you're not my type or, and then comes, the name calling and all the other extra bullshit that's just unnecessary. I think what is a bad boy though? I think a bad boy is relative to the person, I think we got a lot of bad boys that perpetrate like they're good guys, and then the mask comes off once they reel you in, and then now you're not stuck, but now you're like, well, what the fuck? And
right.
I don't know. I personally haven't been in a lot of relationships. I don't necessarily want a bad guy. I definitely don't want a guy that's out in the streets. That's, I want a protector, a guy that's going to make me feel safe and secure, but not a bad guy, a bad boy. I'm not living on the street and, other, but that's just when I think of a bad boy, that's what I think,
Right. So what do you think, Boots? What do you agree with the question, or like, what is a bad boy to you, or what do you think?
Well, first let me say thank you for allowing me to come on, and forgive me, everybody, if there's a little delay in what you see versus what you hear, because I got my laptop from off the street somewhere, so it's a little janky right now. That being said, I think the whole women fall for bad boy thing is primarily for younger women, right? High school age, college age, young adult age, up to maybe their 20s, late 20s, or what have you. And interestingly enough, that phrase or that ideology came from women. Like that's a thing that women first put out there, and then everybody latched onto and was like, oh yeah, that is true. So if it is a thing, it is something that was birthed by women themselves. But I do believe that in our younger years, that is something that holds some truth and weight to it, right? We all remember high school and those early years, especially people that's around our age, dealing with the guys who were selling drugs, who was like B said, out on the street,
Right.
doing this, doing that. It even takes you back, as corny as it may sound, it even takes you back to, like, y'all remember the old TV show Happy Days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Fonzie got all the girls. Fonzie was school
Right.
dropout, had the motorcycle, smoked the cigarettes, whatever. And everybody loved Fonzie. All the girls loved Fonzie. So it's that type of thing that goes into it. But I don't necessarily think that is a thing when it becomes our age. When you start talking, for late 30s, 40s, and 50s and beyond. It may look a little different. It's not necessarily bad boy, but
Right.
yeah, I think it's primarily mostly a young people thing.
My sister Serena said, I think some women think that they can love his badness away, like Beauty and the Beast type of stuff. And some probably just like the thrill and drama of it all. Larissa said the Fonzie is an old
I think
soul.
some women get caught up. I think some women get caught up in the notion that, if I date this good guy, he's gonna be boring. We're not gonna be doing shit. We just,
Right,
it's just,
right,
I'm not gonna have that adventure and living on the edge. And
right,
some women thrive off of that toxic energy
right.
that the bad boys bring.
Oh.
And I think, unfortunately, it kind of the guys that are the good guys, or the meeker guys, or the soft-spoken guys, just get overlooked.
Right. I want
People
to
feel
bring
like,
up something
"Man."
because Booth brought up Fonz, and y'all older than me.
Hey,
Don't do that, Coco.
I'm like- I may not remember the details of the show, but I know just in that era, right? They had, I think it was another movie, The Outsiders or something. So they had like, the Pony Boys versus the other kids were like the preppies or something like that. So, but we can even go to like Saved by the Bell. And I'm not going to say that those kids were bad guys, but there was Zach, he was preppy, and then other kids, Slater, he was kind of, not really bad boys, but it was like this. And then you have the girls, right? Even in Greece, you have, John Travolta. He's like, I forgot his name in Greece, y'all. But, he's that character of, and the women, they like him. He's excited. It's excitement there.
Yeah.
And then she is this sweet, innocent, you know what I mean? And that's what she wants. But I think I always just seen it at the time as opposites of attract, and that's just kind of what we've seen in the media. It's just like the good girl and the guy that's rough around the edges, but when it comes to her, he's not, and I think sometimes, like my sister said, that they think that they can love his badness away, or they might say, oh, I know for me, right? I can definitely put myself out here because my oldest girl's dad, he actually was like kind of bipolar. So, you just never know what you're going to get sometimes with that, right? So you get a good person one day and it can be something else totally different. You know what I mean? But you kind of like, okay, I like the good times. I like, you try to hold on to this. He's probably a really good person. You know what I mean? Because of these good situations, instead of saying, you know what? No, this is not, I finally got to that point for you. You know what I mean? And so he didn't, and then like just going to jail and, all of that stuff that he did. And it was like, I'm not going to say it was exciting. It definitely wasn't exciting as when I hung around someone like that. Different.
It was exciting to you.
It was exciting to you because he was popular, right? He's popular. He's well known, that type of thing. So I think that women get attracted to that. I think it makes them feel like he has like clout, you know what I mean? Or is that the right word? Like he got it going on. So like, and a lot of girls may want him, you know what I mean? The way his swag is just like, so that's what women are attracted to, you know. So I think
women are
that's
often attracted to what they see growing up. Unfortunately, I didn't have a father figure growing up, so I didn't have this image of what a good man was, or what a good guy was, or what a bad, you know. But you know, I think women tend to, you know, they say that's your first love. Your dad is your first love,
right.
so they tend to lean towards the type of man that their father is, you know, or if they have like strong uncle figures or brothers, or you know, just what they see. I think it's learned behavior, so to speak.
Right.
You know, and I don't know.
Girl,
I just you can keep those bad guys. I don't want it. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah, now we older and it looks different. Like, so my dad, right? My dad raised me. So my mom, so my dad went to work, came home. He helped with us, you know, he did all of that stuff. So yes, my dad was a good, you know, but then like my dad didn't like to travel. You know what I'm saying? There was my dad, he was Mr. Handyman. He knew how to work on cars. He know how to do all that stuff. So that's that part, you know, I could, you know, I see a guy that's like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's attractive. But then my dad was a homebody, but I'm outgoing. You know what I mean? So I like to kind of be outside, so to speak. And you see, you know, I'm very outgoing. And so I like somebody that's outgoing like me, you know. And so I kind of would look for that. I don't mind quiet guys, but I feel like I'm doing the most if you just quiet. I feel like I'm being too much of me. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So
all I know is whoever dates you, Coco, has to be strong, have a very strong, tough skin. You are not for the faint in the week. So I know that.
Wait a minute. Oh my God. Really, Boots? Really?
I'm just, I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing.
Boots used to be after me, y'all. I mean, after me, like, girl, shut up after me. Go ahead, Boots.
So to your point, I think that what we got to be careful of doing is the whole mindset of finding somebody that was like my dad, or as for men, finding somebody that was like my mom, right? Because even though, you know, as kids and growing up until adulthood, you know, we lived with these people, and these people guided us through life, and they raised us, and we saw them, and we saw how they interacted with our other parent if they were around or what have you. The reality is that we didn't know them as adults, right? We weren't in their relationships, right? So just like we were when we became parents, we for the most part allowed our kids to see what we wanted them to see. So what I'm saying is that we really don't know who our parents were as lovers, as spouses, as life partners, and all those things, like we think we might know, to the point where we're choosing our mates based on our mothers and our fathers, right? Because I'll give you an example. For me, it wasn't until I was probably in my almost 40 years old that I realized that my dad, you know, like had a history of stepping out on my mother.
Wow.
They still did that for me 100%. To this day, it's a running joke in my family where it's like, well, how you ain't know that? Because this happened and that happened and that happened. And I'm like, I had no clue.
Right.
But so, and here it is, I'm thinking my dad was the greatest father and the greatest husband and did no wrong, and you know, so on and so forth. So you know, I realize, in my opinion, that we have to be careful where we try to model our mates, so to speak, after our parents, because we really don't know, you know, 100% who our parents were in their relationships and their marriages and things of that nature. Now, of course, we can't help it because organically we may be drawn to what we're drawn to, but you know, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt too, because you know, we really don't know.
Right. And I'm going to read a couple of comments. Bio Chick said, definitely love that her man works really hard, fixes cars, build houses, does landscaping, and he cooks. Plus, he hunts. So he's a country boy. And Jocelyn said, I married a man just like my daddy. I love him to pieces. I think dad's or lack of does play a part. And then she says, yeah, hell no, she's not for the faint. Y'all gonna have to. I'm not that bad, y'all, but I'm really not. That's another thing that sometimes I think I'm a little bit of a pushover when it comes to certain folks. So, you know, but Bio Chick said that her dad was a handsome hoe. Wow, my goodness. She said,
handsome hoe. Wow.
Yeah, she said, and she has attracted plenty of hoes while growing up. So, ooh, you know, I think a lot of us have. And so Larisha said the man she married is the opposite of what she traditionally went for. And I think that's what she said. I think I got that bad boy obsession out of my system in my early 20s. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like now I feel like I got it out of my system to a point when after dealing with my older girl's dad, because my youngest daughter, Skylar, her dad is the total opposite of my older girl's dad. Total opposite. Like he went to college, you know what I mean? Like he had a 2-parent home where my other kid's dad, like his mom abandoned him pretty much. So he had that going on. And I think that was something that he fought through addiction and just being bad. Just probably trying to get some type of attention, you know? And then here I was trying to give it to him. And area of a chick too. Because when he left this earth, he had 7 children, okay, with 5 different women, okay? So, but, you know, at the time, you know, and I met him in high school, it was high school, you know, what was it? You got to get a roughneck. I mean, let's think about the music, right? Let's think about the music that is showing, you know, you got to get this roughneck. Then we have, what was it? Beyonce now, Destiny's Child. I Need a Soldier with my boo T.I. T.I. and the guys, you know what I'm saying? All the guys met and all, I mean, that was sexy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But not saying that they were bad guys, but it was the look. It was the attraction.
Okay, you know? So I think this is the perfect segment into my first question. So let's be honest. Have you ever ignored a good man because he seemed boring?
Yes, I'm sure the answer with all the women is yes.
Like a dude, what's going on?
The answer for every single woman on this chat and on this thing is yes.
So I will have to say, if I did, I know it. I did have one guy, and I met him on social media. We were friends for years. We don't even talk anymore. But apparently, he had this whole big crush on me, and somehow I missed it. And, you know, friend-wise, I did feel like he was a good guy. Like, he would share about his relationship, you know, whatever. And then he told me, you know, how he felt about me, which I was totally oblivious. It happens, okay? Excuse me. It happens. Sometimes you got to be direct with me, okay? I don't know. But when I look at it, y'all, I'm not saying he wasn't a good guy, but he had no go. You know what I mean? Like, work-wise, like his career, or like he was like too laid back for me. He had no ambition. And I like somebody like me in that way who's ambitious. Like, I'm not trying to wait around for something to happen. I want to make moves. You know what I mean? I don't want to make excuses and just, so it wouldn't have been a match. I don't think it would have been a match that way, because I feel like I would have been on his throat, and that's not good. You know what I mean? Like, okay. You know, well,
I think you're skewing the question a little bit. I think you should. I don't know. So you've never like dated a ambitious, successful guy, but he was boring, and you ignored the fact because he was boring, but he was just a good guy and a good potential provider. And
no. I know.
Can you fix boring? Can you fix boring? Can you fix a person that's boring?
Can you? I mean, because I really feel like
maybe you can introduce things. Maybe you could introduce things that they've never been exposed to.
They have to be open-minded though, because sometimes people are just really set in their ways. So if I'm like, hey, let's go over here, I don't really like being around a whole lot of people. You know what I mean? I'm not comfortable being with a whole lot of people. And then it's just like, okay, so then we're at home looking at, now, I don't mind being at home sometimes. That's cool. We can chill, blah, blah, blah. But, sometimes I might want to go out on a night, on the city and travel or do some of that. And it's just like, I can't get my passport or like, you know what I mean? So that's just boring to me. Like, I mean, look at Blue's face. It is. It's boring. I like excitement, man.
At this stage of our lives, right? I feel like we really have to look within ourselves and say, what is most important, right? What's most important, right? So I understand meeting somebody and feeling like they might be boring, right? But if they are showing you that they are a good person, they're going to be true to you, they're not going to lie to you, they're not going to cheat on you, things of that nature, right? I would think, especially for women, that would kind of overshadow maybe them not being as much of an outgoing person. And like B said, if a relationship develops, maybe that person will be more inclined to, traveling to places that they've never been or going to events that they would never go to, right? Because they love you and they care about you and they understand that that's important to you. So that's just like a man meeting a woman and wanting her to go to the football games with him or wanting to go to, maybe he's into rodeo shit. So I want to
right there.
rodeo or what have you. Like I think we especially at this age, we got to realize or find out, all right, what's most important to us and what matters most, and figuring out what that looks like, even coming down to looks and stuff, right? We all have preferences and we want what we want, but you're probably never gonna find a person that is emotionally, mentally, physically, and all things above exactly what you want, right? There's gonna have to be some type of compromise here and there. So
right.
When I was gonna make earlier is that a lot of the really good men that could be really good women, really good husbands and life partners to women, they short, they might be a little fat, they might be a little boring, their bed don't quite connect, or a plethora of the things that women complain about, but they are really good men, and they're good family guys or what have, and the same for men, and the same for men, and so again, we have to really start, especially at our age, where going back to what you were talking about earlier, where people are falling ill, they need people to help, take care of them and be with them in these over 40 and 50 year old times of our lives, and because that's important. And so I just think that those are the things we need to start evaluating over some of the more surface level attributes of a person.
Definitely now, like, I feel that way now. I was still kind of speaking of when I was younger. I'm still outgoing, but we don't got to go out all the time. You know what I mean? So I got, it don't have to be lit every night. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as looks, I'm a chunky girl. I'm not everybody's type, and I know that. I wear weaves. All this stuff. The people could be like, no, pop the balloon. Like, that show right there shows a lot of people who need to mature because they're so into aesthetics all the time. Everything's about looks, and people don't realize you get older, things happen. Like I had breast cancer. I lost my hair. I lost my eyebrows. I was telling Andre how I looked like a little chicken nugget from back in the day, the McDonald's commercials. They had a little chicken nugget. You just see eyes. I ain't had no eyebrows and not like a little chicken nugget, and so my face was round, and you change. So if you want somebody that when it come down to stuff like that, they're going to be there. They're going to be loyal. And for me, honestly, like, I don't want y'all to think I never had a guy that I didn't think it was a good guy, right? Or it started out being that they were a good guy. So they checked the boxes as being nice. You know, we went out, they were a good family. I even dated a guy that was a single dad, you know, and so he got his 3, I got my 3, and we were doing great until I found out some other stuff, and I was like, wow, like I did not see it coming. And at the time, you know, we were Facebook out. And it came, you know what I mean, out, and I was just like, and everybody said, it ain't your fault, you know, that's him, and it's not. And it just took me off guard, you know what I mean? So when stuff like that happens, I step back and be like, are good guys, so-called good guys, really, really good guys, or is there like a shoe ready to drop, you know, down the road when you find out that this person is not who you thought that they were, or they appear to be, you thinking that you're making the right choices, because they say choose better, right? You said choose better. And so then you date out your element, or you go for the guy that you probably never normally would go for. And then it's still like some foolishness. You know what I mean? It ain't the same type of foolishness, but it's still some foolishness. And so it's kind of hard, you know, sometimes to still have an open mind. I'm a little jaded, okay, to get around that, you know? So, but I get it. I
think I'm probably not the best expert in this field. I've only been in 3 relationships. I'm 52 and I've only had 3 relationships. For me, when I say that I'm going to be with someone, you know, I'm a long-term future. Let's get married. Let's be together forever. Let's, you know, that's my mentality and my personal preference. So of the 3 that I did have, one of them was my ex-husband. I didn't know what the hell I wanted or what I was looking for. You know, like I said, there was never any like example around me of what I should, you know, what boundaries should I set, or what should I look for? What should I look for? What are the red flags? What is this and that?
How old were you, B? Do you remember how
I got married?
Yeah,
I was so 92. I was 19. I got married. I was a baby. So I got married at 19. My ex-husband, he was just, and this is a fucking red flag right here. He's like, I was pregnant with my son, and he's like, yo, so do we want our child to be a bastard? You want to get married or what? And I'm just like, okay. You know,
yeah.
But Coco, you also know my story with him in the domestic part of it.
Right.
So, and then when I look back, you know, like, what was I doing? Like, I just literally just settled but he was at the time, and I'm not trying to get off script,
right?
But at the time, he was my escape from home. You know, to get out the house. You know, it was a domestic situation at home. I could get out, and he was my escape. So I could, hey, here's this grown man, which was actually 20-something years older than me. So that's a whole nother thing right there. And it was just a fucking mess, right?
Yeah.
So he was the epitome of a bad boy, but not like in the good sense of, oh, he's a street. Right. And then the one after that, he was a good person and a good man, but not a good partner. You know, so I think like now that I'm older and I know how to set boundaries and what I'll accept, what I won't accept, and you know, and I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, so I just know for me, I want someone that's going to make me feel safe, protected, just like, you know, what's the Hope News saying, the soft girl era? I want that.
Right.
You know, and I just, you know, I don't know. Y'all can keep the bad boys.
I got a question.
Let's go. What's up?
And it's kind of based off what you just said, B, and even what Bayou Chick said in the comments. When you say, I want a man that makes me feel safe and protected, what does that mean? What does that look like?
for me, isn't safe and protected is not always physical. Like if we out in the streets, you fuck somebody up, fight. And safe and protected is my heart, my spirit, my soul, everything. I know that I'm safe with you mentally. We can communicate. You know, we got each other's back. I don't have to worry about, you know, cheating or whatever, you know, whatever those things that may come up. So safety to me is one big umbrella, not just the physical. Knowing that home will be provided for. If something was, you know, to me, I'm with the whole sharing. We both take care of home. I'm okay with that. But if I can't, you got home protected. You know, so it's, you know, just a strong, you know, just makes you feel, you know, just I don't know. I don't know how to necessarily articulate it.
You're making it. And that's what we are right now as we're older.
I just want to know that you got my back, because I'm definitely gonna have yours, you know, because I'm not one of those women that just date for fun.
Right.
I just don't, you know, and I'm not knocking anybody that does, you know, so let me just be clear, disclaimer, I'm not knocking that. Just for me personally, it's just not my style. I date with intention. And so, you know, feeling safe also comes, you know, trusting, you know, all of those things, you know, and just knowing that once I'm with him in that space, just like nothing else matters, and all the pressures of the day and the troubles in the world, I don't have to worry about that because my mind is in a safe space right now, you know. So that's, for me, that's a good guy, and me living in a safe space with him, or being in a safe space.
I want to read a couple of the comments. So Bio Chick says she's not marrying a weak mofo either. Be ready to fight and all. Like all what you said, B, yeah, that sounds good. But you know, when it comes down to, we need him to be able to protect.
No, I said to fight now.
Okay.
But I know how to fight, and he gotta know how to fight too.
You gotta be able to protect me, it's a lot of craziness out there.
Hold up, though. The reality of it is that we are in our 40s and 50s. Like, who's going to be out here fighting niggas in the street? Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. These. Let me keep it all the way a buck with y'all. Listen, I ain't no sucker. I ain't no punk, and I don't mind going for mine to protect my lady and my family. But us men out here, these niggas done had hip replacements. I just told you I just got a knee replacement.
You gotta
niggas. Oh, that's the reality of life. So what I'm saying to you is that if I'm out with my lady, right, and a situation comes up where another man is being aggressive to us, or to her, or what have you, my first instinct is, let me get her and we get up out of here.
Right.
Now, if he swing on me or he try to hit me, then I have no other recourse than to protect myself and defend myself. But I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to fight out here in the streets or any of that. So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of men who aren't inclined to be fighting. They're just not fighters. That's just, even when they were young, they're just not dudes that just be fighting dudes. So I don't think that necessarily should be on the totem pole on attributes for a good man. That should be kind of like a little bit lower, right? If a man doesn't necessarily want to be out here fighting, even if he straight up like gets beat up on, that shouldn't necessarily make him a weak man, right? If he's taking care of home, he's taking care of you, he's taking care of the kids or the grandkids, he's making sure he provides a home for you, he's loving you, he's protecting you, all the things that you said be, but he might not be a fighting type of dude. That don't mean he's weak or he's soft. That's just not who he is.
I agree. So I totally agree with you, Boo.
Because I mean, I'm a pretty big guy. I got a pretty big stature, but I don't necessarily be looking to fight somebody because if I got to defend myself, that's why I got a permit to carry. So,
well, I mean, that's protection, right? Something gotta happen. Look, something gotta happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to be able to walk away because you want to live, right? Where you want to be protected, and you want to live, you know.
Absolutely.
But if it comes down like the ladies in it, they're saying nothing is wrong with not fighting, but be ready to lay hands when needed. Pam says she's been married 25 years. B, I guess this to talk about what you were saying earlier, and she's still trying to figure it out, you know. So she was also very, very young, and then they're still, you know, they're still together. So, I mean, you know, I think I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like we're mammals, right? So you go down that road, but they say when mating season or whatever the animals do, they look for the stronger alpha, right? They go for the alpha. So is it really that different? I mean, it's different, but is it really that strange that some women go for what they feel is an alpha man? You know what I mean? And that's their attraction to that alpha man.
I do.
Does that make sense?
I get that.
So
I think a lot of women they confuse being an alpha man with a man that just out there wanting to fight and shit and just be starting shit and
right. That's that young. I think that's that young, you know, thing. Oh, you know, they'll get with, oh yeah, he tough, he can fight, he got, you know what I mean? Like that looks good. But when you get our age, you know, we're not really looking at that in that way. You know what I mean? You do want to feel protected in the house. I hear a noise. He be like, go see what.
So kind of going back, and I know we got to move on, but like Boots was saying, like me personally, if I'm with a man that's always out in the streets wanting to just be beating his chest and fighting, and you know, that's not making me feel protected.
Right. That makes me scared because I don't know how many enemies you got out here. You know what I mean? If this is how you roll and we out, anything can happen. And I got kids, and I don't have time to be losing, you know, my life because of stuff you've done. I've been in situations, you know, like that, and doing dumb stuff, hanging with those type of guys. And I grew up and I grew out of that, and I definitely never wanted that, you know, type of life for my children or around my house. I mean, it was at a time I had to tell my kid's father, like, look, you want to come by and see the kids? Cool. Don't come by with all your homeboys. Everybody don't need to know where I live. I don't know what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? So y'all out here and everybody know where I live at. They trying to come looking for you. They gonna know where I live at, you know? So no, as a woman who's 49 this month, or 25th, no, I'm not trying to feel that way. That's not what I'm looking for. But I do sometimes feel like there are guys who present as good. I mean, you guys can look at them on the outside. You can look at them on social media, and they appear that they got everything. Everything is good, you know, and it's attractive. And then once you get involved, it's like it's something else. It's something else. What was that movie with J-Lo? And she worked in the diner. And then here comes this handsome, you know, riding on a white horse to come. You know what I'm saying? They come in like that. They come in like that. So you're like, I got a good one. It ain't about the money and all that. He just pays attention. He listens to you. And the whole time he's studying you. You know what I mean? To do stuff, you know. But go ahead.
Let's use all of our favorite, you know.
The Color Purple?
No, our favorite couple, Ciara and Russell.
Okay.
I mean, everybody would say he's corny, he's a cornball, he's, you know, this and that. I never saw that. I just saw a man that loved his wife, loved his family, protected his family, that umbrella of a protection.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So
Agreed.
He is the typical aesthetic look of what women say. Oh, he's, you know, he's boring, he's soft, you know, he's not a bad boy, you know. And I mean, I know we're all, of course, they're celebrities and we look from the outside in, but she doing all right to me.
Yeah. Oh, Boots. Larissa says, so would you feel some type of way? You see that question? If a man let his lady be the one to throw hands and the man didn't.
Let me respond to that, Miss Larissa. If my woman, I would hope that if my woman happened to be in a situation where she had to throw hands, that she's throwing hands with another woman. Absolutely. I will, whether I was a fighter or not, I would absolutely not allow my woman to get in any type of physical altercation with a man. Like I would, if you my lady, especially my wife and my life partner, I'm gonna lay down my life before any harm comes to her. So no, I wasn't saying that at all. But like Misha said right after you, I also don't think it's cool when women are hot-headed and wanting their man to fight and put them in danger. Just be starting stuff for their men to fight or get in drama. So we got to deal with that part of it too, right?
Right.
Like you out to eat and the woman all blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And she's like, my man right here, he fucked you up right now. And you like, hold up.
I'm trying to eat my steak. Like,
it's a lot of it is about maturity and people being mature and being able to de-escalate situations. And like Coco said, make sure you make it home every night, right? And that's the bottom line.
But just piggybacking off of that, Boots, it also goes back to picking someone that you're equally yoked with. Because if this is someone that's your life partner, then they know the things, they know how to, act in public, and they're not going to put you in that situation. Like Misha said, they're not going to put you in that situation, So I think that goes back to an earlier point of being selective of who you pick. All those things, work together.
I always felt like, being that Misha brought this up, like I felt like sometimes guys would go for certain women, right? Because guys have their preferences too, right? And maybe he's the quiet guy, and maybe he likes the girl, the popular girl. So this popular girl may be the one that's popping off at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? But now he has a chance to have her, so he's happy to have her. Right on his arm, and now she out here, causing all this chaos. So it's not always, I feel like it's just women looking for the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, why aren't they dating women who are exactly like them? Like, if he's a nerd, why don't you go date the nerd girl then? Or, she might like you, but he's like, no, that ain't my, So I think it's definitely back to what you said, B, like, we all have our preferences, but then sometimes, like, but that opposite attract thing, y'all, it's very, very, I don't know. Because you got to,
I've never dated or chosen women under the guise of opposites attract. I understand that concept, and I think people kind of do it subconsciously. But I know I've often dated women who were like me as far as their interests, what they like to do, their disposition, how they were raised, so on and so forth, right? For the most part. So yeah, I know I never subscribed to the whole opposites attract thing myself.
It don't have to be opposite, like, she's loud, he's quiet, but it may be an opposite to where there are certain things that maybe I have shortcomings in, and then he's strong there. So he kind of we're even each other out as opposites. You know what I mean? Or it's we like you guys say, do something different, like do something what they want to do sometimes, do something what you want to do, and then come together. So you're not going to always marry or be with you, the identical other gender version of you. Because it got to be like something in the mix, but we don't want toxic. And I think that's where people get confused is the bad boy. You're getting a toxic person. You're not getting a good guy. You're getting, and then some of these guys that come off even being good guys, they may have some toxic qualities as well. So I mean, I think all of us are kind of like somewhat kind of in the dating pool. You know what I mean? At this age, and it's like
I'm out.
Okay, so
Ruth is retired.
Ruth is divorced. Ruth is divorced. I ain't never been married. I don't know that I want to be, guys. And I know you guys have loved me for a long time. I don't know now at my age 49.
Move your hair.
But that's something.
Move your hair, Shaka Khan, because it's in the microphone.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Shoot, it bent down. I don't know at this age that that's something that I want. Like, I like companionship and all that stuff, but the thought of waking up and you still here, like, you over here, like, go home. And
that's because you haven't found anyone that you like enough to want to be around them every day.
Woo.
That's you know what?
I don't know. We might have to have our own separate bedroom.
Yeah, that's a whole other show. That's a whole other show.
Like,
Because
you have your own room. You ain't snoring and stuff. Nah, you know.
I hear so many women say that same thing. And
I
I think it's so sad. I think it's so sad. Like you said, me, I was married, I'm divorced, but I'm in a whole new relationship now, right? I'm in a new relationship now, and I enjoy it. I think it's great. And we are in a really good place. And I can definitely see myself at some point getting married again, or we just be life partners for the rest of our time here, whatever. But to hear so many women saying, like, I don't like kind of your sentiment, I just think that's like, dang, that's like so
really,
man.
It is disheartening. It is disheartening. But I think, like, when I was younger, I feel like I gave that time. I wasted much of my youth trying to, have these relationships, right? With my kids' fathers or whatever else, and maybe it didn't work out for whatever reason, right? And so now I'm just in this era, and we're gonna throw it out. Let me just say that I do have a boo, so I'm gonna put that out here. But I enjoy having. I enjoy my boo. You know what I'm saying? I know I like having somebody, but like the idea of marriage, I don't think that I'm marriage material, and I'm okay with saying that. I don't think that I'm marriage material because I don't think that I have what it takes for the day to day, and especially with some people, the expectations that I feel that some people think that a wife is, and I don't feel that I fit that, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel down about.
That's a whole nother segment. Break that down. That's a whole other segment right there.
I don't feel bad about it. And some of my friends, some of them have been married, some of them had long relationships. They have said the exact same thing, and I'm good. Like, I'm good coming home with my kids. And then, and then my friend come by or I go over there with him. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I feel satisfied that way. I don't feel that there's a need to take it to another level. I'm good. But I think my outlook for my even down to me being sick, you know what I'm saying? And God forbid that I ever get cancer again or anything like that. But I need to know without a shadow of a doubt that you're gonna have my back, because one of the things that happens the most, when you're going through chemo, you can't have sex. You're not able to be intimate in that way. And believe it or not, there are a lot of women that were in some of my social media support groups. Their man left them because of that. You know what I mean? So when it comes to stuff like that, what I'm thinking, like, at the end of the day, where am I going to be? I don't want to have to deal with my sickness and worrying about you leaving me. You know what I mean? Like, I want my people that I know that's going to be right there. My kids, my family, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Not saying my friend that I got wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I'm hoping I'm making sense. My outlook is just different. It's just different.
Personally, Coco, I just think you just have not met that one person yet that will make you see things differently, that you truly enjoy being around and you truly enjoy going home to, but he knows boundaries. He knows, you have your space, I have mine, you have your friends, I have my friends, So I just think he's coming.
Let me ask real quick.
People not supposed to go. My husband probably live on that island. I may have to go to that forbidden island out there on
real quick though.
Real
quick. Not to jump all over you, Coco.
We good.
The gentleman that you've been with, y'all been together for a little while, right?
Yes.
So with that being said, have y'all had these conversations about marriage, life going forward, where y'all going?
No, because he's been there and done that, and I don't think that that's something that, you know what I mean, and it kind of went south. So I think he has a different outlook too. So we're good. You know what I mean? Like,
that works for y'all then.
Yeah, that works for us. We're in the mind for that.
Coco, do you go seeking men that say they don't want marriage? Or like, is that what you automatically look for?
Like, I don't
Well, I don't mean seek, but like
I don't seek. Like when I've gone out, like I've had some girls, but like, yeah, let's go out. I heard that's where the men are. Let's go to the. I'm not. I just don't have. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like regular conversation, hang out and chill, but not like to pick up a guy or to see. My interest is not there on that level.
I don't think seek is what I meant to say. I meant to say like when you do meet a guy and y'all discuss dating or whatever, is one of the things that you absolutely look for is the fact that he says he does not want to get married, or if a guy says he wants to get married, but you just not date him because he wants to get married. I mean, I know those are conversations, but so you're just not open to getting married at all?
I don't know. Like, okay, I think because I've been in like the serious relationships that I had been in, my kids were involved, right? So that one guy who was a single father, like we were discussing marriage, right? So this was like back in 2017. We were discussing marriage. Girl, I had a profile for my ring like freaking at the jewelry store and all of that. My kids were deep, you know what I'm saying? And then with everything, you know, I'm dealing with my child being hurt. So it's my child being hurt, me being hurt, and me having to pick back up those pieces, right? And I just don't, that was just something that I never, and I understand even when dudes go through this too, you know, I didn't never want to feel that type of pain again and have to go through it. You know what I mean? Or to try to explain to my kids or have my kids been in a situation where they want to roll up and hurt somebody for hurting their mama, you know, and that type of stuff. So I think I just kind of like, chill, you know. And then for me, again, guys, you know, y'all may know, may not, I have a heart issue, right? I have an ICD implant. So I can't, the stress, I can't take it. I can't take it. So I need whatever is going to be good for me, that's chill, not me stressing. And every time your phone ring or dinging in at 12, you know what I mean? I don't feel like going through all of that. Not saying that that's what's going to happen, you know, but I feel like if I just chill where I'm at and be happy where I'm at, then I'm good. I don't have no complaints in that way.
I understand. I was just wondering, you know, marriage isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, everybody out there, join us next week for Coco's therapy session. We talk.
Listen, listen. You know, I have a lot of respect for both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't mind being open about, you know, open about things. You know, I like companionship. I like being able to do stuff and whatnot. You know, but like at 49, 50. I don't know. I kind of almost enjoy my peace. I'm about to have an empty nest, y'all. My Paris and her son about to move out on April 1st. It's gonna be me and the youngin' up in here. I'm about to be outside, y'all. And I know
for me, even though I am divorced and all that, or I was divorced, I enjoy the simple parts of a marriage and a relationship, right? Like, you know, like throwing a cookout together, and my friend, or you know, your friends become my friends, and my friends become your friends, or combining families, and you know, of course, traveling together, and you know, being able to come home and be like, "Babe, I got this bump on my back. Can you look at this bump on my back?" You know what I'm saying? Like those very simplistic things of a relationship weigh so heavily to me, and you know, those are the things like even stuff like a brand new series come on Netflix being like, "Babe, don't watch the next episode without me," you know, and that being our thing. Like, I think those things are really, really important to me and mean a lot to me, which allows me to want to have ultimately that relationship or that marriage or that life partnership with somebody. And like I said, as we get older and our bodies start failing us, you know, having some, it warmed my heart to be able to wake up from knee replacement surgery. And one of the first persons I saw was my lady sitting there, right? Like that was big. And so, you know, that part of it is really, you know, we talk about looks and we talk about bad boy, bad girl, and all those things, but those things that real life shit to me is what matters.
Yeah. And I
What a
had that
collection
with my
plate? Because Boots, you just
parents.
said a word. Let's sit around a collection.
Yeah, I'm not like that's why I love
Yeah.
love having y'all on here. Like I watched my dad take care of my mom. I'm talking about we're in a position where she was in diapers, okay? Because she passed away of breast cancer. So she was that far gone that she couldn't do it. And my dad helped be her nurse. You know what I mean? And so for me, like when it comes down to that, like that's what you want. You don't want the person to say, oh, you know what? This too much, one of my girl I know at work, her husband had a stroke or whatever, and she was like, he was so happy that she was right there, she taking care of him and everything. And then his partner that was in the bed, not partner, but the other guy, his wife was like, I don't think I can do this. And they were just all in there quiet, like, dang, she's out, y'all. She's out. As soon as he's down, she's out. And now before that, maybe it was some red flags that he ignored or whatever. But you automatically think as a default that person is your person, and y'all did all these things Boots talked about, and then that sickness and health don't hit. You know what I mean? So,
well, I think a lot of times they do all the superficial things instead of the things that Boots mentioned, so they don't get that bond. Those, and then when shit hits the fan, they're just like, "Oh, this ain't what I signed up. I signed up for the trips and the flights and the caviar, the bottles. That's what I signed up. I didn't sign up for this." Right. So the core things that Boots mentioned I think is really what's missing.
Yeah, and I have my friend Kishana was on here, so I have married cousins that's on this live, y'all. So I have Misha Daniels, Larisha Smith, their siblings, and then my friend Kishana, Jocelyn, which you may remember Jocelyn. She just got married. Jocelyn got married. Yeah, so they married folks. You know what I'm saying? And my cousins, they way younger. They're like 10, 15 years younger than me, and they did, and I'm happy for them. I'm very happy for them. Now their husband mess up, then we got to roll up. But I'm happy for them. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that if something went down with them, I'm pretty sure that their husbands got their back. And whatnot. And I think that that's really, really the thing that's important. So we had all these questions, and we was all over the place with this, and it's absolutely fine because I like that. I think we still hit a lot of things. But I do want to ask this very important thing to you, Boots. So with everything how a woman was when she's younger and now that she's older, do you think that it's okay for her to want the good guy now? Or because she liked the bad guys in the past, that's just, she should be short now. She shouldn't want the good guy. No, this is what I'm seeing guys on social media saying, oh, don't come over here now because, the guys that ran through you or whatever, the talk. How do you feel about that?
No, I think it's absolutely okay for her to want whoever she want now and to be whatever. I understand exactly what you're talking about because I hear that chatter too. And, just like anything else in life, it's about growth and maturity, right? And, women and men can grow up in their younger years being very promiscuous, being out there, doing whatever, doing whoever, and all those things. And then you get to a point in your life where you depress those younger ways and those immature ways, and you do want to settle down and whatever. I don't care how many kids you got, how many notches on your belt you got, or how many bodies you got, or whatever. You have the right to say, you know what, that's who I was when I was younger. That's not who I am now. And I want to settle down or what have you. And you have every right to be that, right? And to live your life that way. And so I just think a lot of people say that type of bullshit on social media when the whole male versus female wars come up and people trying to one up each other and people trying to shame each other and all that bullshit. But the reality of it is that people have a right to be who they are and want what they want. You know what I mean? You might not get it right away. Things might not fall in line right when you want it, but you have every right to live your life how you want, to make certain changes, to reform in certain ways, and to want what you want. And so, yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Oh, and happy 10-year anniversary to Misha Daniel.
Yes. Happy anniversary, cousin. Yes. Gosh, it's been 10 years. Woo. I did their makeup. I did both of their makeup for their wedding. Wow, 10 years. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So, and I was in Keishana Brown's wedding as one of her bridesmaids. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. No.
Always the bride, never.
Woo, the professional bridesmaid. No, I'm joking. But yeah. So I'm definitely, happy. And I don't want people to be like, oh, she's never been around anybody in happy marriages. I have. Like one of my aunts, she just got married her second time. My uncle and her were together for 54 years before he passed away. And at 70, I want to say 71, 72, I just went to her wedding. She got married a second time, So I'm happy for her, I trust and believe, when we would talk, there were guys her age still playing games. Like, are you serious? Like, it's so hard to believe. So she still had to, find her match, even at that older age, people still be tripping, but I'm happy for her. I'm very happy that she did. So
good for her.
And her kids.
Yeah, there's someone for everyone.
Yeah. But I definitely.
But I think I
want them to have that.
Things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you guys been divorced, so like what that does. Splitting property. Look, one of my coworkers.
Girl, he had shit. It was clean, cut, dry, sign the paper. We was done.
Younger. So say like somebody like me or like Boots, like I'm a federal employee, so I got this retirement. You think I'm trying to split that? And we have a divorce and I got to give you half of that? Or
mine was clean too.
My property and all that.
Mine was clean. My divorce took 3.5 months.
Oh, okay.
Clean.
Yeah.
We didn't have kids together or anything, so it wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, because I seen people, they young, she done bought a house, then they got married, so they sell her house, then they get a bigger house for the family, then come down and it's like he put $500 down, but now they sell the house, guess what? He get half. It's just for me, it's just like no, because for me, like my house that I live in is a family heir, thing. I'm not nobody. This is going to go to my kids. When it's over and said and done, it's one of my kids, my sisters, my family. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I need to sell this for marital property. I don't know all the laws, y'all. But, that's just how I'm thinking. I don't want to have to give this person half that came in and we ended up not getting along and stuff, and now you get half. So,
well, do a prenup. Well, you don't even necessarily have to do a prenup in that case. You have those conversations and you make provisions to protect that, that property or that asset or whatever. However, the reality of it is that unfortunately, when there is a divorce, there are going to be people who sometimes feel like they got over on or they got the short end of the stick. That's just what it is, right?
Yeah.
And so that is why the key is when you get married, you have to exhaust all resources before you just make the decision to write your name on that paper, right? And you file that paperwork, because it can come down to those feelings of feeling like you caught the short on the stick, you got unfairly treated or what have you. So
they say that's where you learn who the real person is during a divorce.
Yeah.
That's what they said. That woo. I think my heart can't take it. So I did what my heart can take. You know what I'm saying? So we have a clean split. You go your way, I go my way, and I just, I think it's just a protection thing, y'all. I think it's just a protection thing for me. But again, I'm fine with that. I don't want nobody to feel pity. Oh no, she'll never. No, I'm good. And I think I just have to be good with it, because I can't let certain things consume me. I even said, all right, I'm gonna date an older guy, y'all. No.
How much older, Coco?
I think he was 8. He was like 8 years older.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to say 80.
Oh, good.
That ain't that much older.
You know, he was 8. You know, that was not about no love. No, okay. No, he was, you know, I call him AARP. And AARP definitely on the outside seemed like, you know, everything was good. But no, I'm like, you're too old for this. Like this stuff here, there's no way that this should be going on. So I don't got time. So, but gosh, I think we have, you know, pretty much touched most of our questions. But I feel like it's one that I had for Boots that I really No, I think I have that. I think we got them all. Really good, y'all. We didn't have to like go like it just flowed. I love it. So I definitely we still have some more things to talk about because I feel like especially in relationships is definitely layers to it. So thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
On here, giving me my therapy session. Boots. So, but I do want to thank everybody that came in viewing. Thanks for coming through, you guys. Definitely always great to see you guys on here. If any of you guys want to come up and talk about something, definitely let me know. I can fit up to 10 people on this panel. So I'm definitely open to that. We just have to do a sound check, make sure everything flows. So next week, I want to announce that I'm going to have 2 gentlemen who are recovering alcoholics. And they're going to be coming on and they're just going to be sharing their journey and stuff like that. They did like congratulations posts and I was like, oh my God. So I reached out to them and they were like, absolutely. So they want to share their story. So next week I will have those 2 guys up. So definitely hope you guys can tune in too.
Let me say real quick, Larisha, no, I am not from New York. I am a PG County, Maryland boy through and through, DMV, all that. So I don't know what accent you heard.
You hear the Maryland? The Maryland?
Right.
Maryland.
Mother, father, Maryland. Yeah, nah.
She definitely heard of Maryland, New York. Girl, if he was from New York, we would heard about him being from New York at least 20 times in his life. That's all they talk about is New York.
Exactly.
He got to the back, would have been to the front with a big wow right on the front, and his shirt would have said something about New York
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Flatbush. Shut up.
Right. We don't care. Like, get over it. So, but thanks, guys. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. Again, this is streaming live to YouTube and stuff. If you guys want to share from there. So thanks for coming on and being my guest. I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
You too.